Hi, and welcome to another video here at thewindowcleaningstore.com. Today's video is on how to get more life out of your squeegee rubbers. Basically, I'm going to show you a method I've come up with for conveniently cutting your squeegee rubbers. You might want to do this in the case of buying, larger length squeegee rubbers like 36 inch, cutting it down to the various sizes that you like to use. You can probably save some money that way. Another thing too is if you've got a squeegee rubber that you've been using for the day, let's say an 18 inch, the corners, maybe over here are worn out, but pretty much the rest of the rubber here is fine. There's no sense throwing that away. You can always cut it down and use it on a smaller channel. As long as you don't have any nicks or cuts or worn areas in this part of the rubber here, may as well get the most life as you can. So I'm going to show you a technique that I came up with for cutting down your rubbers, and a system for doing it in a very convenient way. So a few things you're going to need is any kind of scraper blade, whether it be a pocket scraper, little safety scraper, 4 inch, 6 inch, doesn't matter, as long as it's a nice sharp blade. So you'll need that. You'll need a piece of 1x2 or what I have here is MDF fiberboard molding. You want it to be kind of a softwood or a soft fiberboard material. It doesn't have to be too big. I've got this one cut here at about 26, 27 inches. And that's about it. Well, actually, you also need all your squeegee channels. So gather up all your squeegee channels that you like to use day in and day out, all the various sizes. Now, as far as what we're going to use the wood for, we're going to put markings on the wood, as you can see here, of various sizes for cutting the rubber down. And to get those sizes, we're going to take your channels and you're going to measure them, and you're going to want to make the marks on the board to be approximately 1/4 inch larger than the actual channel size. Now, one thing is channel sizes are actually they're in metric, but we call it a 10 inch. It's really not 10 inch. In fact, if you measure the channel of a 10 inch, it actually works out to be 9.5. So on a 9.5 inch channel, you're going to want the rubber to be about 9 3/4. That will allow you to have rubber at about 1/8 of an inch on either side of the channel. Some like a little bit less, some like a little bit more. You can mark your markings according to your preference. But like I say, as a general rule, 1/4 inch larger than the channel. So on my stick here, I have my markings. So first I measured off for 6 inch, 8 inch, 10 inch, and so on, all the way up to about 24 inches. Those are the rubber sizes. And so a 6 inch, where I have marked 6 inch, technically speaking, it's actually only 5 3/4, because that's what the rubber is going to be. But that's just as a representation to put the sizes. So once you have those in place, you make your marks, you draw your nice straight lines along there. Now you can take any rubber that you want to cut down. And in this particular case, I'm actually going to take a brand new piece of rubber. It's 36 inch, but I want to cut it to, let's say, 16 inches. So what you basically do is, at your zero mark, you want to make sure that's right at the edge, and you bring it along to 16. You hold it nice and straight up at this end, and you'll take your razor. Like I said, you can use a pocket scraper or 4 inch, 6 inch, doesn't matter. What you're going to want to do is just look overhead and make sure that you're right on that line, and you're just going to want to push down. Now, one thing I want to make a note of, you want to start cutting in at the ball side first and ending off at the actual tip, the part that actually is going to be going on the glass. That will ensure that it's a nice sharp cut where it really needs to be. So like I said, just bring it right to my zero, over here at 16, holding my scraper, holding right on top. I'm looking right on that line, and I push down. Now the reason why I'm using MDF, and the reason why I say either use that or use a soft wood, because you actually want the blade to go through the rubber and into the material. You want it to go beyond. If you're using a real hard wood or metal, or obviously you're not going to be able to go right through the rubber nice and smooth. So anyway, here's our cut. It's nice and straight, and of course that leaves us with 20 inches. So 20 inches, I can hang on to that. I can use it, maybe make two 10-inch pieces, or I can make leave it at 20-inch, cut it in any variations, like an 8-inch and 12-inch. So there's a lot I can do with this leftover piece. And like I said, if you've got rubbers that you've been using, like you're using an 18-inch, you get the corners worn, and you still want to use it for another size channel, you can use your board and your razor to cut it down to using a 16 or a 14-inch or a 12-inch. And some people might be thinking, well, okay, that's great, but it's not really convenient for me to keep this in my truck and all that. No problem. What I suggest you do is throughout the week, as you're using up rubbers and you're switching out, just put that rubber that's slightly used into a nice clean box or a bag or something, and then at the end of the week you can gather up all your rubbers, do a visual inspection, see which ones are salvageable, bring your board out, you do it just once a week, that's all it takes, and then you're all set for the following week. Anyway, hopefully this tip will help you, like I said, get more life out of your rubbers, and thank you for dropping by thewindowcleaningstore.com. Bye for now.